Hey guys, welcome back. And I first want to apologize for any background noise that you might hear in the background. It is Saturday that I'm filming this video, and my neighbors do have the music blasting. I've tried waiting certain times of the day to try and film this video, but the music's been on all day, and I figure I might as well film it while there's still some daylight out. And I know the video quality might be a little cruddy. It's just that I'm using my mom's webcam camera from her computer. So I thought this would be the best option that I had to film for you guys. And the products that I wanted to talk to you about were the Maybelline Dream Velvet Foundation. I got it in number 60, Sandy Beige. And I also have that velvet sponge thing that it has. So I first heard about it, I believe I heard it on a YouTube video when it first came out. And then the next day I saw it all over my Target displays, and I figured, I might as well try it because I do love the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I just happened to buy it in a really dark color, so I haven't been using it recently. But since it is like the winter months in Florida, I figure I might as well, try it out, and it's a little bit of a thicker formula and see how it is for my skin. So before I get into the video talking about the product itself, I'm going to give you like the descriptions and the price that I paid for this product. So prices vary from store to store. I know at Ulta you can get this for $10.99. I got mine at Target for $8.99, and Walmart might have it a little cheaper. I don't know for sure. I'll leave the links down in the description box below. But I know that it's a few dollar difference in each store. So I bought mine at Target. There are 12 shades, and I have number 60, Sandy Beige. And it says that it's Maybelline's first hydrating matte foundation for 100% velvet smooth perfection. And unique gel whipped formula ideal for normal to combination skin, medium coverage. It says, give me one second. It says this refreshing gel whipped foundation leaves complexion perfected and smooth with a velvety soft matte finish while skin stays hydrated for 12 hours. It says for best results, apply Maybelline Dream Velvet Foundation using the Maybelline Dream Blender, which is this right here. Now, since we are holding the recommended sponge to use for the foundation, this thing sucks. Pretty much. For me, it sucked. I When you're supposed to wet it, and when it says, you know, it'll get a little bit bigger when you wet it. I tried, and the products that I am reviewing today, I paid for myself, and this is just my honest opinion and review. So when I tried to wet it, I feel like it was too dense for my face and for the foundation. And this is tiny. I have a big face, so took forever to blend. And it says blend in circular motions, and it took me a long time. Now, what I tried to use it for was the concealer, and it definitely does work for the concealer, but since it is so dense, it doesn't really blend it out as much. So I do like using it for like baking or setting my under eye, and it does have like a really, if you can tell, it has a really nice pointed side right here, and it'll get right into the crease of the eye. And I love how it works for blending or like baking. I could just roll the powder and it'll hit my spots perfectly, and I can use it down the bridge of my nose, chin, and like the center of my forehead, and it works fine. To do it for the whole face, it takes forever, and I realized that you use so much product using this like beauty dream blender just because it is so little and it is so dense. um it does leave it a little streaky. Oy. A little streaky after using this, but I found that using my beauty blender or a flat top kabuki brush definitely makes the foundation so much smoother and quicker to apply. If you wanted to shear it out a little bit, I would definitely recommend a beauty blender, but for this specific foundation, I use a flat top kabuki just because it is so thick, and you get a fuller coverage with that. I like it because it is a nice medium coverage, and it's definitely not drying in the face. I have super oily skin, and I like to use more mattifying foundations and primers. And with this, it does mattify my face, but it doesn't make me look shiny. So I still have like a little bit of like a luminous glow in the sense of I don't look shiny because it is a matte foundation, but it's not a drying matte, if that makes sense. My face definitely does feel like velvet, and I do love the coverage. Sandy beige fits my skin complexion perfectly. It doesn't really oxidate that much, which I love because when I buy foundations, and it has like really high oxidation, it'll look one way in the container and then change completely different color. I do love this foundation. I love how easy it blends and how well it matches my skin. Not only that, it does cover a lot of my blemishes. When I wear this, I don't really need any concealer. I just, I always put it just because I feel like my dark circles are, it's just something I do because if I don't do it, my face feels naked. But I do love this foundation. I do love how velvet it is. It takes a little bit to set, but if you were to use a powder, it'll definitely last all day. You don't need, for me, I didn't need any extra concealer to cover the spots. If you wanted to make this more of a medium to full coverage, you can always do a second layer, and I do love how well this blends. And even with me doing 2 layers, I didn't feel like it was cakey at all. It set very nicely. It didn't feel heavy. It didn't crack like some matte foundations that I've tried do. Even with the powder, it still looked like skin and it looked flawless. And even if you wanted to make it a little bit lighter, you can by just putting a little bit of oil, like argan oil or essential oil, like your skin serum in it, and it'll make it a little bit more liquidy. So if you didn't like how thick it is, but onto the foundation, I do love how it comes in a squeezy thing. It's a lot more sanitary, so you don't have to use like one of those tubes without a pump and just spill it all over your hand. You can, a little bit does go a long way with this concealer. This is pretty much all that I use for my entire face. And then if I just need a little bit more coverage, of course, I'll add a little bit extra. But that's what it looks like. It's a very thick concealer, and it's more of like it's a hybrid between a peachy and like an olive or yellow undertone. So it's more of a neutral. And my face, depending on the day, always um, it'll go from like pink to more of a yellow. And I know that's a little weird, but that's just how my face is. And I love how well it fits with my face. And it is very thick, but it's not drying, if that makes sense. I love how soft it feels, and I love how easy it is to blend. And it definitely mattifies my skin without me looking flat, if that makes sense. Um, I love how quick it sets, and it almost turns to like a powdery foundation the more you blend. And once it sets, it feels like a powder foundation, that type of velvet. It definitely doesn't oxidize, which I love. It doesn't really have any SPF. I believe there's no SPF in this, so you definitely want to put an SPF under it before you apply your foundation. Um, and I'm not wearing a primer. And I just wanted to show you, I have been wearing this all day, and I wanted to show you guys that even without a primer, I still look glowy. But in the center, where I do get the most oil, is completely dry and matte, which I love. I don't know what's in this foundation, but it's absolutely my favorite foundation. And I think I'm going to be gravitating more to this instead of my Fit Me, just because it does the same thing, but also gives me more of a luminous glow. And since I already, since rubbing that into my hand, it's already set, and it took like maybe 20 seconds to set, and it doesn't feel like anything's on my hand. It feels great, and I love how well it's set, and it completely disappeared. And if it oxidized, you guys could definitely see it on my hand, but it didn't. And I just, like I said, this is one of my favorite foundations, drugstore. Um, it's just the best. It feels so soft. The only thing I can recommend is you guys buying it and trying it for yourself. I know that it's going to work very well for most skin types. Now, if you're a little dry or really dry, I would recommend exfoliating before applying it because it can tend to cling on to drier spots of the face. But I do love how soft this foundation feels. I can't stop rubbing my hand because it does feel like velvet. And that's what I like. It actually, there's no claims, but when it said that your skin is going to feel like it's going to be flawless and feel velvety soft, that's exactly what it feels like. So if you guys are interested, I highly recommend buying it. You won't regret it. And thank you for watching. That's pretty much all that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. And I will be doing a demo after this video. So if you guys would like that, please subscribe and leave a like. And you can always comment down if you want me to try any other products or there's something else you guys wanted to know. And I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye.